She's back. About to make some chippies. It is the 14th of Jan. I had some crazy days. I had some really crazy days. A lot of shifts in my personal life. A lot of old emotional stuff like bubbling to the surface, which, as I mentioned, like I'm so grateful for. Today is, you know what, I don't even know what day of sobriety. I think I'm gonna stop counting because I am totally done with weed. Like I'm feeling my natural energy coming back. I'm feeling my motivation and my mood shifting in such a positive way. And yeah, it's just so good. I managed to like manifest 3 new clients within the space of a week and a half, which is awesome. So awesome. So I've been really super busy just onboarding clients, and a couple of them are in person, so getting to know them, doing the first couple sessions, which are always a little different obviously to once you've been working with someone for a while. But yeah, that's a little update. Today I woke up nice and early. I've been training consistently again, which is awesome. And I am even I am gonna be training with the intent to compete again at some point. Nowhere near soon. I need to put a lot of tissue back on that I lost, which is fine and is fun. But yeah, I feel that I definitely have so much untapped potential. I competed twice in, oh my God, 2020 and 2021, or 2019 and 2020. No, it was 2020 and 2021. And yeah, I want to go back. I want to do it, but I want to do it very, very differently to how I did it last time. I will not be getting a coach. I will be doing it by myself because I really truly believe that I know my body better than anybody else knows my body. So it's exciting times. I probably will not be getting on stage until like 2026, honestly. And also finding a show, because I don't think I'll compete in Thailand. I think I'd be doing myself a bit of a disservice if I compete here. There's not many figure athletes, and also I just think the pool would be not so challenging for me. And you know, I don't want to win an easy competition. I want to win a hard competition. So yeah, that's a little update. I'm feeling very focused. I'm feeling very inspired, which is good. I've been looking for this feeling, and turns out the thing that I thought was helping me was the thing keeping me from this feeling. So big changes, really, really big changes. Yeah, that's all. Today's been a busy day. I woke up, I trained myself. Then I had 2 back-to-back clients in the gym, which were awesome. A lot of my work that I do with clients in the gym now is not your average PT sessions. A lot of them, we don't even pick up a weight during the whole session. It is very much about embodiment practices, myofascial release practices, and very, very slow, very specific, very intentional movement practices that really reconnect people to their bodies from the deepest layer, rather than working on these superficial layers, because ultimately that's how we end up with issues and pain. So yeah, that's my little update. Today I've got another 2 clients, but both online, so I'm about to make myself some food. I had quite a few questions around living in Thailand and how I've done it, how I do it, what is the plan. And so yeah, I'm gonna do like a sit down video and just share really like my experiences and what my vision is, what my plan is moving forwards. Because it's so much more attainable than people think. I mean, obviously you do have to be doing something that can provide you with some revenue online, but I truly, truly believe that the way the world is going, regardless of your profession, there's always something to be done. There's always a shift. And even if your current profession totally requires you to like be in the space, I feel like we often get so boxed. We put ourselves in these boxes, like, and I've done this for the last, like, my whole life. My box has been movement, sport, gymnastics, the body, sport therapy, PTing, bodybuilding. Like, that's where I've been boxed in. But I've decided that, like, that doesn't define me. That's just what I was good at from the age of 3. And so I just got put in that box. There are no boxes. There are no boxes. We do not need to limit ourselves. And so, yeah, it feels really good to just stop defining myself in that way and realize that I am totally limitless. And if I want to move into, obviously you want to be moving into something that you feel that you're good at, or you feel that you can get better at, or you feel that, you know, you have potential in. But for me now, I'm really feeling like I am letting myself branch out. I am finally accepting that I am a very creative person and I can totally move into that creativity. I have so many ideas for the future that I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, don't limit yourself, guys. You can pivot at any point in your life. We have one life in this specific body as this specific being. So explore all of the possible channels that you feel might be calling you, and you'll know, like, our intuition tells us, I want to do something different right now. And just because you've been doing the same thing for the last 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 years does not mean that you can't pivot. So yes, yesterday did not go as I planned it. The afternoon just ran away with me. And I didn't manage to film anything else. So it's the next day. It's the 15th of Jan. I don't know how many days it is sober, but I'm not even thinking about weed anymore, which is just wild. It's just wild. I feel really proud of myself. I'm really happy with, like, I think when you've become so dependent on a substance, you really truly believe that, like, without it, you're just not good enough, or you're not creative enough, or you're not energetic enough, or you're not, like, social enough, or yeah, so many things. So I feel very, very blessed to now be in a space, and don't get me wrong, it's still early doors, but to now be in a space where I feel like the energy that I have is mine. It is mine. I have a coffee. I have 1 coffee a day, so that's the caffeine. But other than that, like, I'm now tapping into my natural energy, my natural emotions, and yeah, it's just amazing. It's just really, really amazing. This is probably the easiest it's been for me. But like I said in that previous video, there's been a shift in my mindset, in that the things that want to come into my life are only going to come in when Mrs. Mary J goes away. And so it doesn't even feel like a struggle. And so I think that's, like, something that if you are struggling with an addiction to any substance, it doesn't even have to be a substance, anything, like your phone, your laptop, like you can be addicted to relationships, you can be addicted to sex, you can be addicted to shopping. What is the other thing that addiction is stopping you from reaching, from embodying, from like welcoming into your life? And I think if you can really put yourself in a place of how much you want that other thing, then you can start to, the power, the thing that you've been using as a distraction, you can really start to, like, dissolve its power, and it gets to the point where it is just gone. I say that, it's still, like I say, it's early doors, but I really do feel like the power it has over me has disintegrated to the largest extent that I've ever experienced before. I trained myself this morning, taught my class, which was really, really great. I don't have a lot of like people coming to my class at the moment, but the thing that I love the most is that everybody that comes back. Like so far in the last, what's it been, a week and a half, I've only had 3 clients, but all of them have come back and they're coming back and they consistently come back. So for me, like, yeah, it's a little bit like, I want more people in the room. I want to share the practice with more people, but I'm not even in a rush. I'm not worried. I'm not in a rush because I see that the practice impacts people so, so much, which I guess leads me on to some of the questions that I want to answer that I got in terms of like, why Thailand? And like, yeah, what's the plan? Why did I leave the UK as well? A lot of people have been asking this. And for me, I mean, the answer to that is quite self-explanatory. I feel like England, especially London, I can't speak for other places, but I feel like it's just finished. It's just finished. I just don't enjoy being there. I think the collective energy of the place is pretty shocking, is pretty crap. People are stressed out, people are on the hedonic treadmill, they're in this hamster wheel that they can't seem to get out of. I was in the same place. I was working in clinics. I made my own clinic. I found a space and like created my own clinic so that I wasn't needing to get a wage. I was actually taking all the money that I was earning. And even then, when I was charging like £80 an hour, because that's how much you can charge as a sports therapist in London, I still couldn't move out of my parents' house. I still was like, I remember before I left with the partner that I was with, we were looking at places to rent and it was like wild. Like £1,700 a month for like the tiniest 1 or 2 bedroom flat. Just daylight robbery. And my soul just could not consistently be exploited by the bullshit of the place. Energetically, I felt like I was dying there. I felt like I was trapped. My soul knew this is not life. This is not how you are supposed to live your life. This is, you're totally in survival. And I think when you've been in survival for that long, you don't even realize you're in survival because it becomes life. But it's not life. It's genuinely not life. Our central nervous systems are often, not everybody, of course, but like in that setting, it's so much easier for your central nervous system to just be stuck in this sympathetic setting, right? So you're always having to go, you're always having to push that like grind culture, which gets so glorified. And the reason it gets glorified is because if it gets glorified, then people will stay. People will think, oh, you know, I work so hard and I'm grinding and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And so they think that like, cool, like I'm achieving what I'm supposed to be achieving. But no, all you're doing is working yourself into the ground most of the time to achieve other people's goals or dreams and to line other people's pockets. And so basically I just got sick of it. I got sick of paying through the nose for absolutely everything. I got sick of feeling like I was being exploited. I got sick of feeling like I was so disconnected from myself, from nature. And that question of just like, is this really life? What else is there to life? Is this what I went through all my degrees for? Is this like what I was born to do? Just grow up and then work? Like, no. So that's a little rant on why I left. And then why Thailand? I mean, I haven't traveled to that many places. I was in Bali for a while and I went all around Bali. Ubud, I loved. Uluwatu, also saw that. Canggu, not my place. I then went to Lombok, which was really lovely, but like super surfer-esque. I don't know what it's like now. It was a little while ago. Spent some time in Vietnam, spent some time in a bunch of different places in Thailand. And there is something about the lifestyle in Thailand that I just love. It just facilitates that thriving rather than surviving. Things are simple. If you want to rent a bike, you go to the bike place. You say, I want to rent a bike. They say it's this much. You say, here's my driver's license. They say, sweet. You pay them the money. You don't even have to give them your driver's license. Most of the time, they just take a photo of it. You've got yourself a bike. Same with like renting a space. You find the space, you go there, how much is it monthly? You don't need references, you don't need fucking all this, they don't need to ask you how much you earn. It's like what, 10, 20 years behind the Western world. And honestly, I think for things to get better in the Western world, there needs to actually be a regression. Like all of this technological advancements and stuff, I think that's just making things worse for us. So that's why Thailand, and actually also why Lanta specifically, because Lanta is, not many people know about it, and I actually kind of want to keep it that way, but it's a little behind other places like Koh Phangan or Koh Samui. So yeah, I just like the simplicity of life here. It's so simple, and the people are some of the most beautiful people that you'll meet. They are content with the basics, which I believe is the place where happiness really lies. Being content with as, like, all we need is the clothes on our back, a roof over our head, and food to eat. You know, I feel like when you can get to the space where you're genuinely content with those things, then you're just working from a place of like, okay, how good can it get now? Like, how much extra abundance can I move into? Rather than, you know, I'm only going to be happy once I'm living in Hampstead. I'm only going to be happy once I'm living in Chelsea. I'm only going to be happy once I've got these new Jordans, or I've got this new thing, or I've bought this new car, or I've got, like, it's all extra to fill this void within us that it's never going to feel that. It's never going to feel that. And I feel like a lot of people get to maybe the space of realizing, oh shit, the void's within me. I need to be content with basically nothing, and then I'll actually feel happy. I need to just move inwards and love myself. All of these extra external things are doing nothing. I think a lot of people don't get to that point until maybe, I don't know, like mid to late 30s. I think our generation, I'm 29, people are realizing it a lot early, a lot earlier. And I think that's because of this whole split in consciousness that's happening. There's a new earth, an old earth, this spiritual revolution, let's call it. And people are waking up to the fact that this trap of like, work as hard as you can to get all of these external material things, it's a trap. You can unsubscribe from that system. You really can. It takes a lot of strength. It takes, you know, risking a lot, but if you stay still, then you stay still. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. So yeah, Thailand for me is just a place where things are scaled back. People are a lot happier. Obviously, it's much cheaper to live here. Yeah, I mean, best of both worlds, obviously, which is kind of what I've got going on now. What I do have it going on is having an online income from the Western world, the UK, and then being able to live and spend in the Eastern world, so Thailand. I mean, the plan going forwards, a lot of people were like, how long are you going to be there? Like, I think a lot of people thought, and especially my friends, thought like, oh, I don't know, maybe like it's a bit of a phase, she'll be there for a while and then she'll come back. But if I have things my way, I will never again live in the UK. I have no interest. Yeah, if I have it my way, I will not be living there ever again. The vision for me is to be here on Koh Lanta for at least 6 months of every year. Last year, I jumped through all the hoops. I went through all the processes of getting a business visa and a work permit. And so now, and even that, I haven't really let that sink in. And so now, yeah, I can work here legally, which is awesome. My dream is to have almost like a kind of like a village of just a village and a place where people can come to expand, to disconnect, and then reconnect to themselves. That's the vision. I'll be staying here for 6 months, building, growing, earning, being of service to as many people as I can. And then I hope and I pray that the other 6 months of the year, I will be able to travel, and like this being my home base. There are so many places around that I have not yet seen. And, you know, like, I think the reason people thought I was just going to come home is because when people normally go off and they go traveling, they do just that, like, right? They're in a place for like 2 weeks at a time, or 3-4 days at a time, or even a month at a time, but they keep moving around. My experience has been really different. I spend a minimum of a month each place I've been, normally anything from like 3 to 5 months. Because my intention with leaving the UK was to find a second home. It wasn't just like travel the world and then come back broke, you know, which is fine. That's also awesome. Like being in my shoes and like seeing other people that I know who have done that, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. I haven't actually like explored that much. I've explored more like depth in the places that I've been, and I really know what it's like to live in these places, but I haven't like been here, there and everywhere, done all the sightseeing, done all the experiences, you know. It's been more just like research, where do I want to live? Yeah, so that's the vision. 6 months here, 6 months traveling. Maybe out of those 6 months traveling, there'll be like, I don't know, a month that I'll be in the UK, and I pray that it will always be in the summer. I went home last year in March for 2 weeks, and honestly, 2 weeks was enough. I found that when you do these things that are out of the ordinary, and you push yourself to develop and evolve and change, you know, I mentioned things like plant medicine. I've been doing a lot of these things, and then so when you take your new self and you put yourself back in your old environment, it is triggering as hell, which is great. We need those. The triggers are teachers, you know, there's always something to be found within the trigger. But it does come to a space where sometimes you know who you are now, and you know the things you've grown through, but when you get back into that old environment, you feel it trying to pull you back into your old self. And so, yeah, my intention is to be out of that environment for as long as I can. And like I just said, maybe a month in the summer to go and visit family, friends, things like this. But then, yeah, get the hell out of Dodge as quickly as possible and keep traveling. Also, another reason why Thailand was because weed is legal, and I've smoked weed since I was like 16. So that was actually a big factor. And I remember there was a point where I was like looking at places to travel, and it was like on Google, where is weed legal? But now that's not a factor. And I still would not want to be anywhere else in the world. So yeah, I think like my vision is to really build something here. I want this to be a hub. I would love this to be the space that I create a family, and really just live in the most free way possible. But I also sense, and something in me is telling me, that Central and South America is gonna be a whole nother part of my journey. But I think that probably won't be for at least another like 3 years. I really want to build here. I've you know, I understand the place now. I understand the money. I understand the people. I understand the culture. I've set up all the business stuff, and so yeah. That's the vision. And I hope that you'll come with me on the journey. I have some plans, but yeah, I just want to work in silence for now. I'm not going to share too much. I mean, I just did share like the greater vision, in terms of having an actual space that's going to create some sort of legacy for my children, a place that they can grow up, that is free, that is immersed in nature, where they don't have to have that deep conditioning to undo in their life. I've done that. Well, I haven't totally done it, but I'm doing that. And I don't want them to have to do it. I want them to be free. I want them to be just totally themselves, totally untainted by all the bullshit. All the bullshit. So yeah, that's the vision. That's the goal. And I hope you will join me on the journey as things get more crazy, more intense, more abundant,
more loving, more free, more joy, and yeah, more creative. I think that's it for today. That was 20 minutes for me talking. So yeah, if you enjoy the last, like, how many videos have I posted? I don't know, this is maybe video number 10, 9, 10. Anyway, if you enjoy it, if you want to be here with me, if you want to come on the journey, then subscribe, like, do all those things that people talk about. But if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to do those things, also don't do those things. It's totally up to you. Yeah. Sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.